Morning.
We're recording this first... Is it 8 o'clock?
8:13.
8:13 on a Monday morning. We normally do like a Friday afternoon or a fun point in the week.
This is dig deep territory. Just to start the week.
So this could be terrible.
You were off last week, it's your fault. Right.
Yeah, off last week. Straight back into a podcast.
Yeah. Social media?
Social media.
Dark side of... What? I mean, probably maybe not as extreme as the dark side of social media, but... yeah.
Kind of. So I think we've spoken between ourselves quite a bit about... Everybody thinks that running a social media account or doing social media as a job is just all fun and games and you just run around filming fun videos. Yeah.
GIFs and
looking
memes.
for trending GIFs.
Yeah.
But actually, there is quite an intense and not very nice side to it, which we've both witnessed across like a few different accounts, which is, I mean, and it's no secret, those internet trolls.
Yeah, there's plenty of them.
So if you, and it's actually really difficult if you're running an account as well that isn't yours and you're having to deal with that like on behalf of a company or on behalf of business.
Yeah.
It can be very, very intense and it's really hard not to take them to heart.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Interlinked to what you're saying there as well, I think that's one of the many reasons why we don't touch like organic social media management, i.e. community management for brands, because really, and you'll feel this, you should have... We believe the best people to do that community management, i.e. dealing with trolls, for example, or comments or whatever, should probably be an employee of that brand.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Really. Obviously, there'll be other people who'll disagree with that.
I can also see why a brand would take that away from their employees.
Yeah.
And have somebody
protect.
Just...
Yeah. You mean to protect them, yeah.
I really can because... Yeah. So a lot of this has come around... so I manage quite a few social media accounts like outside of work, and I don't have many now, but one of them that I'm doing at the moment is this event that I've been running, which is a Pride event in the Yorkshire Dales.
Yep.
And I mean, I've managed a lot of social media accounts over the years and had like loads of hate, and it's usually stupid stuff because I've done things like restaurants, hotels, like businesses like that, much more hospitality, and then you just tend to get people that maybe didn't like the food.
Yeah.
Or think it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Or, you know, those sorts of stupid
have to chuck the 2
things.
pence in there.
They're not like these hard, horrible, quite deep-cutting comments.
Yeah.
But I've been managing this account for maybe 3 months.
I mean, it's written on the wall what
you know what's coming.
Exactly. The minute that you've said what we're talking about and the fact that you've said it's a Pride event, I dread to think, but go on.
But I have never, ever, ever seen this amount of hateful stuff coming through to a social media account. And I mean, like, I've managed big accounts with this account only has like a few hundred followers. I've managed big accounts with thousands and thousands of followers. And this is tiny. But I honestly just cannot believe the amount of stuff that has come through that I've had to filter and delete, and it's all well and good to say, I'll just ignore it, but you kind of got to do something with it, and even if that is just a case of deleting it and reporting the people, and you still have to read it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And obviously this is getting into a whole different topic.
Yeah.
But regardless of what kind of account you run or what you're doing on that social media platform, this exists for everyone. Like, you've had it on LinkedIn.
You get some smart ass people on LinkedIn because obviously, yeah, I guess it comes with the territory. Before we move on to like LinkedIn or whatever, but I guess it's related to this question. Which platforms have you witnessed this for the Pride? Is it just?
It's been absolutely everything.
So Facebook.
So it's we've mainly had like Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
But then the other one that I just I've never even like considered this as like a platform for people giving their 2 pence, but we've had quite a lot of media coverage.
Yeah.
Which you're like, oh, amazing, we've had all this media coverage. But then the comments on
under the articles, really.
So like on them all online, like on the different news platforms.
Yeah.
They've been the worst actually. And we've had quite a few like reshares by sort of like quite big accounts. And one of those was one that just so there was one by like Yorkshire Dales,
Yeah.
as in the Yorkshire National Park,
Yeah.
had posted about this event we're doing because obviously it's held in the national parks, and there was absolutely hundreds of comments on it. I had to I was working from home. I think I might message you when it was, and I had to literally put my phone in a drawer and shut it away because my phone did not stop going off, and it was non-stop, just this absolute stream of comments coming through that were just awful. But like I said, I've never had it before to that extent.
Yeah.
And we know it exists out there.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing around this conversation now that we're having on this podcast is how actually difficult it can be to be at the other side of anything like that on social. Even if you just get one comment,
yeah,
it's really hard to forget about it.
Yeah. Well, I've had one comment in the last few months on LinkedIn, and it was a stupid post about how S Club look in these photos. They look like they're potentially working at an agency, and it was S Club 7 have been through different iterations over the years of which members came back and then dropped out, and then sadly one of them passed away quite recently as well. But this particular picture was missing maybe 2 members altogether. I think, I can't remember from memory. And there was a few comments really, but one stood out that was like, "Oh, I see that you've left Bradley off. Tut tut tut. You should know better. Like, work harder." And it's like I get the point, and I like, because
there's extra comments on top of that, weren't there? Saying like basically saying that you'd done it as like a racist thing.
Exactly. And like you immediately, it comes left of field. Maybe the first one comes left of field totally unexpectedly, and then some people would just brush it off. But
it's really hard because you really start to second guess yourself, don't you?
I remember saying to you this is not like, this isn't. First say this is unexpected. I'm shocked. I've obviously shocked some other people, so that like shocks you, and then obviously the beauty in many ways of social media is how easy it is to send someone a message or send a comment to make your feelings known and heard, and absolutely get where it's coming from, but that wasn't the intention, and that wasn't, it still is a bit of a weird experience to look back on. But long and short of it is, I've also sort of done posts that are just totally vanilla, and just like, I've had messages over the years, several years ago, a former client that the relationship didn't last long at a previous workplace. I ended up having to block him on LinkedIn.
Really?
I've only got like 2-3 people that are blocked, and the other 2 that are blocked are like spammy people. Yeah. But this guy was, it was just, he said some, I can't remember the way he worded it, but he just was the most arrogant, cocky guy that just continued to message me little bits and pieces over like a very short period of time, maybe 4 weeks, something like that. And I just ended up having to block him. I didn't respond to any of them, but it was all over like an invoice or something. At one point I remember him saying something like, "I've paid more invoices than you've had hot dinners, lad." And I was like, "What? This is a place of work." I know it wasn't.
People forget that they forget all like professionalism.
Yeah.
As soon as they step onto like social media, don't they?
That's their level of professionalism for some people. But you're right.
I suppose, yeah. But would you actually write in an email?
Well,
and choose to send that to somebody?
Yeah.
Whereas like putting it in a comment or like an instant message.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, you think about it less, don't you?
Well, there's that thing, isn't there, though, that you see other people, and rightly so. I'm a quite a big believer in it. If you're getting like continued, I'm going to call it abuse, and obviously abuse is a sliding scale, and you see people on LinkedIn sharing the screenshots of like dodgy comments or dodgy, call it out, because I'm, as I say, I know you still have to sort of be careful at that point, but honestly, these people who are on the receiving end of it, and I'm not on the receiving end of it regularly at all compared to some people.
No, I don't think either of us are.
No, but there's enough of those the glimpses of like the shit experiences now. It makes you feel that if you times that by whatever scale other people are receiving them at. Like, I can understand why they're wanting to share and call it out.
Do you know what? I actually just don't. I think if I had to, like, if I was managing all these social media accounts and I was getting this all the time, I would have to rethink whether I want to do it, because so even there's like been the odd TikTok that we've done where I think I remember showing you this, where somebody had commented on like one of our TikToks saying like, "Oh, you guys clearly do loads of work in the office."
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, do you
remember that?
And I honestly, like, I sit there and I deliberate about that for like 2 hours, like, should I? And then I'm like, no, what? Why am I letting them dictate what content we put out? That's totally our choice.
And it's also, this is perfect example. You could have 99 thumbs ups and positive comments,
and then you
the
get that one,
and you're like, where did that dickhead come from? And also, shit, does that actually make a difference?
So
Should
hard.
It make a difference? Yeah, it is. But then, obviously, that's human nature in a lot of ways. But
100%. But it's realising actually, like, it's finding ways to deal with this. And if you are managing these accounts, I don't know. I'm not perfected this.
Yeah.
How you do like switch off from that, and
I
think sometimes it's also about like protecting your team from it, because not everybody needs to know it all the time.
True. Yeah, that is very true. I think obviously the online world and social media in particular is such a great thing that it's done and it offers. But as we all know, it's people are quite outspoken about. And we're talking about it now. The downsides that
there's a shite side to it
that come with it, and to be honest, social media is just a facilitator of humans, really, in a different way. And ultimately, if humans are still involved, then you're gonna have that downside. Like it's like Twitter. Twitter is I love it in so many ways, but Twitter is just an absolute minefield for.
I think that's why I find Twitter quite stressful.
Yeah, I think lots of people do.
Yeah.
I'm in the right. No, I'm in okay circles on Twitter that I can sort of deal with what there is. Yeah, there's some shit in there, but I've never had anyone say anything to me. But I don't really post. I don't really tweet. So maybe.
And that's the difference.
That comes with the territory.
So it's as soon as your content is going out there and reaching new audiences, because it's all obviously the people that like and follow you, they want to see your content. They are going to support it. Yeah, they're not going to put shit comments on it, are they?
No.
But it's with particularly like nowadays where, sort of like 10, 15 years ago, content on social platforms did not get pushed in the way it does now. There wasn't this like viral post that suddenly can blow up. It might be seen by a few extra people, but it would have to be shared, and it's not. The algorithms weren't made to push posts in front of people. That had to happen by people choosing to show it to their friends or share it on their own feed or whatever else. Yeah. It wasn't, it's had this many likes, let's put it in front of more people. So it's different to how people used to interact with it and how your content used to get shown, and now it is suddenly being shown to this whole massive audience where not everybody likes you.
It's quite ironic in a way, isn't it, that it was such a big objective for a long time for people, and maybe still is, like, go viral. But what comes with it is just like you need we're fortunate in that way that we could manage people's expectations who were maybe new to it. Have you ever like had to mentor anyone or sort of train anyone specifically on social? Like, have you ever had to sit down with someone and show them like the ins and outs? And if you have, or if you haven't, but if you have, like, would part of that training almost be to like?
Yeah, I've done it.
So
where I used to work was because actually a big part that comes with social, particularly like Facebook, is reviews. Yeah. So somewhere I used to work and somewhere I actually used to manage, and part of that was training new staff in managing those accounts. So it was when I used to work at a campsite, and obviously I managed all their marketing and social media. Yeah. And a big part of that was monitoring reviews and monitoring like the feedback we were getting online, and a lot of that abuse actually did come through like reviews. Like if one person just liked disliked one thing and then they'd leave like a 1 star and that sort of thing. But it comes through in different forms. But yes, a big part of it was that, because that had a really big audience and quite, you know, wide-reaching posts. So there was quite often silly, stupid things left on it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's different again. That's the thing. Every single business is different, and every single account you will get different kinds of comments and different kinds of hate if you do get any hate.
Yeah, it's
people. So weird.
People again, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, and is it sad? I don't know, but like it's interesting that part of onboarding or training or mentoring someone in that space has to be. And by the way, you might have to put up with some shit. I don't know what type of shit. Yeah, like we can't actually get away from them. We'll block them. It's like reactive, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to wait for a dickhead to put their hand up and go, I'm a dickhead.
Yeah.
Watch this comment.
Yeah.
Then you can block them. So you are right. You have to receive it before you can do something.
There's no way to sort of stop it from happening before it happens.
But like you said, do you walk away from social as a whole? Well, that'd be fucking extremely sad to have to do that. Like,
it would. But I think I would really struggle to manage accounts, you know, at a large scale where this was constant.
A regular daily thing.
Yeah.
And there will be.
I would definitely say no to that. I would choose not to do it.
Yeah. I'd be quite interested to see it to be a fly on the wall for like big accounts, training new staff, because social media execs are typically that entry level as well, aren't they?
They are. It's like a graduate level job. It's like, you know, your first job in marketing. And a lot of, so like ones that spring into mind for me that you see are people say like, you know, big like energy companies.
Yeah.
Where they might just put a nice friendly post out on social media and suddenly get all these complaints, these people just whinging at you with their like customer service problems.
Yeah.
And people treat social media as like customer service now, don't they?
100%, yeah.
Which, you know, a lot of brands do use it to facilitate that. But that must be so hard if you've, you know, spent time working on this lovely little post, putting across, you know, something nice, and then your comments are just...
You're in at the deep end, aren't you? Like, early stages of your career. Like, I think as you get older through your career, you're more accustomed to, like, just rolling your eyes or whatever, dealing with it. But there's still going to be those moments. Like, you've talked through what you've been looking after recently. Mine was in the last 4 or 5 months that happened about S Club, and it's still, like...
I've literally just replied to a comment this morning. Because the event was at the weekend, and then we had another one saying that, you know, just somebody saying something stupid about whatever. And I'm like, no, I actually feel like I need to defend us now. Because most of the time I just delete them and whatever. Yeah. But this was something where I was like, not defending in like a stupid way, just like, well, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Here's our take on it. But that was literally like this morning. And I'm still, I was thinking about it all night because it came in last night.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was in bed, like thinking about what I wanted to write and doing that this morning.
Tell you. If anyone is listening that's an internet troll, no, we're joking. Like, it's...
Just think twice.
Yeah, there is a downside to it. And from, like, if you're about to write a comment or whatever, like, I agree, just take stock for a minute before you're bashing away on a keyboard.
That there is actually somebody on the other side of that, and it's not the person that you're trying to aim that comment at most of the time.
Yeah. And
it's like you said, it's a social media exec.
Yeah.
It might be their first job.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, some brands have done some stupid stuff in the past that people have left on.
They've deserved it.
Yeah, so they've deserved it.
Yeah. It's all well and good. It's all swings and roundabouts, isn't it? There is that, you know, there's a bit of both, but...
And I guess if you look at a brand's tweet or something and you fundamentally disagree with it, and lots of other people do, I guess there's the potential argument that a brand, even if they're, you know, fairly sizable or ginormous, you'd like to think that they've got a little bit of a process or a team, you know, multiple heads of like sent that.
Yeah,
tweet,
you would
example.
hope so. You'd hope somebody with like some seniority would be the people that
definitely
were responsible for sorting out.
But yeah, there's definitely a dark side, and it can hurt.
We'll wait to see if we get any on this video.
Yeah, shit. Are we basically inviting trolls to...
We might have just done that, yeah. But
we welcome the abuse.
We'll see you in the comments.
Good night. God bless.